to have Clark Seavert come up, the economist from OSU, to go over the recently published enterprise budgets that many of you growers helped contribute to. And do you have a...
No, I don't. Amazingly, I don't have a PowerPoint this morning. Apologize, I have a head cold I developed over the last couple of days. I'm on a lot of medications. I'm a wonderful high right now, so I'm going to share that with you. This study was started in January 29th, at the last meeting that you had. At that time, I had an undergraduate student by Cora Wall, who her job was to put together this cost of production study on strawberries. With the help of Laura, they then did a lot of the work that you're going to see today, the results of what we have here. We met with 3 growers to begin with at the North Willamette Research and Extension Center. I'm going to say their names, so they're not going to be innocent in all of this. But we met for one time to go over what is traditionally being done in strawberry production. So there was Marty Denneman, there was Arnie Guttick, and Matt. And so Cora and Laura, between those two, did a lot of this work and working directly with the growers and gathering information. I just kind of helped Cora kind of coordinate this. She is now graduated. She is from Langlois. She is on her family's sheep ranch, one of the largest sheep ranches in Oregon. So that's what she's doing. And so she really found a lot of value in this study and really enjoyed putting it together. And again, we wouldn't have been able to do this without her both consulting and Laura. Thank you for all your help. Before we get started and looking at the numbers, I got to tell you, in preparing for this, in talking with Laura, thinking about how to present this, I got to tell you, my wife's got a friend, Linda, and Linda reads a lot of romance novels. And she confided in me once that when she reads a novel, she goes to the very end of the novel, reads the end, and then she goes to the front of it, and then she pieces it all together, but she wants to know what happens at the end first. Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So, not saying that this is a romance novel, we decided this is the same way we're going to tackle this publication, is we're going to go to the very back, which is table 10 of the publication that you have, and we're going to take a look at the very end, the results. Then we're going to go to the front, and we're going to kind of explain how we put this together. If there's assumptions, you can take a look at it and say, well, how did they come up with this number? We can go back to the assumptions and we can kind of take a look at that. So, to start with, table 10 is the cost to compare the returns and costs of establishing and producing fresh and processed market Juneberry strawberries in a perennial matted row system to day neutrals to a perennial hill plasticulture system. And so what this table shows is the yields for each system. So here's where we get into 12,800 pounds of fresh at $1.60 per pound, and 20% of those are processed of the 16,000 and at 30 cents per pound. And then we go through land prep, pre-plant, plant, post-plant. So we break this up in very detail. So if you don't think this wasn't confusing to a sheep lady from Langlois, boy, she was struggling with this. But thankfully, Laura kind of helped her through with a lot of help from growers. So if you want to know, so what were the inputs for these different things, we broke them up very much in detail. Then on the back page of that, on page 16, then we get into harvesting, and we break those out much like what we did for the matted row. Come out showing our gross return and our net projected return of $16.0846 per acre. So it gives you an idea of the cost structure and how we set things up to do this. So if you're going to look at the two systems, go ahead and study the inputs and the matting and the labor inputs, etc., between the two systems. That's how I look at this. And then on page 17, table 9 shows the full production year, heading into that second and final year that you have the system in. Again, we break it up pre-harvest, harvest, and total harvest. So we end up with gross income minus variable costs on the bottom of page 17. And then we try to, I don't list materials, for example, like fungicides, insecticides. I give it to you on a material basis, on an acre basis, because materials change. trade names change, prices change. I just give you a per acre cost of whatever you use to combat weeds, insects, diseases, that's up to you. But we give you a rough idea on a per acre basis. Although the growers had very much ideas about what the chemicals were and the fertility program was, I grouped them together as a cost, one cost. Then on the back of that page, again showing the fixed cost. With the net projected returns of about $14,000. So, high risk, high reward, a lot more inputs, labor, management, a lot of different things going between these two systems. Okay. So I have 2 minutes left, and I encourage you, and I'll send it out to Laura when we're all ready to launch the new ag tools. And what I have is a software program that you can download online. It's not very user-friendly. It's called Ag Tools, which I then give you these numbers, and then I allow you to change these. It's not an Excel spreadsheet. It's a C++ program that you can then change the numbers and save it out as your own. And then you can take a look at the profitability, looking at net present value, internal rates of return, things like that, between the two systems. We're putting it online, in the cloud, in a database format, much like TurboTax. And we're about 4 to 5 months away from launching that. And so when that time comes, I'll send it to Laura. She probably has all your contact information. Get on there, open your account, put in your business, and I'll have this study and the case study done like this so that you could just bring it in and take a look at it. Then if you want to convert that and change it, modify cost and returns to reflect that of your operation, please do so, and then it's yours. And then you can kind of take a look at the systems that way. Questions? Great. Everybody's confused equally. Yeah, I saw a lot of heads going up and down. All right.